Welcome to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. And if you have any other comments, go ahead and leave an open mic using the WDBO app. You can also check out the website over at refreshcomputers.net or stop in at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and if you're listening to the show here on Saturday, it means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. today. And now, David Leavitt and Adam Littlefield.
All right. Thanks, Greg, and thanks, everybody, for listening to yet another tax-free edition.
There we go.
Of Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. If you're listening on Saturday, I was going to say December, but gosh, I'm so far ahead of myself. August 30th, if you're listening on Saturday, August 30th, today's the last day you can come into the store and take advantage of the sales tax holiday. No sales tax on computers and laptops and lots of accessories as well. And if you're listening on Sunday, well, the store's closed on Sunday, but it's the last day of the sales tax holiday. You can still buy your computer or laptop online at refreshcomputers.net because there it is set for no sales tax. And you just have to make sure it's in a personal name, not a business name, because it's for personal use only. That's where it's eligible. Businesses are not eligible to be tax-free. They should be, but they're not. And so you can go to the website if you're listening on Sunday, or you can go to the website anytime up until about midnight, I guess, Sunday night, and still get your computer or laptop tax-free from Refresh Computers.
And just to be clear, it is a holiday weekend, too. Labor Day coming up on Monday. You guys are open on Labor Day, correct?
We are.
Yes.
We are open on Monday, Labor Day. You know, besides Sundays, we're closed every Sunday. There's only 3 other days throughout the year that we are closed. That is Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. So we're open every other day, every holiday, except for Sundays, unless, we're just not open on Sundays. So anyhow, we have an interesting show to talk about today. There's a new risk, I guess, that just came out for OneDrive, Microsoft OneDrive users. So if you happen to use OneDrive, there's a security risk that we need to make you aware of. But Adam, I think it has to do with businesses only.
Businesses are the major ones that I've seen are kind of at risk right now. The main security risk that's going on with OneDrive is multiple Microsoft accounts can be set up onto a computer, and with that, the OneDrive of each of those accounts sync with the computer. So, for example, if you put your personal account on your business computer, all of your personal files are now available on this business computer. And the problem with that is if you have a business computer with sensitive information on it, documents and such, that you are proprietary, you don't want taken off the computer, you don't want going anywhere, what people can actually do with their personal accounts is they can sync those business files to their personal account and copy it onto another computer, and there's not a single trace about it. There's no logs or anything left of that.
So let me see if I can understand how this works. So you can sign into a computer under more than one Microsoft account. Yes. So this would be the case, right? So if you're only signed in with just one account on a computer, you don't have an issue.
Exactly. Yes.
So but if I'm an employee at a business and I have access to a computer, then would I be able to, and if I'm allowed to sign into that computer with my personal account, will I then be able to see the business?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're able to see the business files. You're able to save them to your personal OneDrive account, and there will be nothing that says that you saved that file.
But if I'm already logged in as that business, I'd see their files anyway.
Exactly.
So the threat, I guess, or what you have to be concerned about is if I logged in with my personal account, the business you work for will have access to all your personal files.
The business
right?
has access to yours, and you have access to theirs, and you can copy them each way, and there's no evidence left that the file's moved. Normally, when you copy a file to, say, a USB drive, for example, it'll actually give you the date that it was moved or modified. Whereas with this right now, nothing changes about the file.
Oh my
So
gosh.
if a person takes information off of that business computer and unlinks their Microsoft account, there's no history that their Microsoft account was linked. There's no history that any files were moved, but they could take the entire information of the entire business.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
movie plot, like
A little bit,
corporate
yeah.
espionage movie plot that you're now able to log in with your personal account, download your entire business portfolio that you have available. Like you said, even proprietary information that probably isn't meant to be shared to personal accounts like that, and then just no trace,
And no
without
trace
a trace.
of it. Oh wow, that's terrible. So
It
what's
is.
the cure?
So what I've found, the main thing that able is to be done right now is you can edit the group policy on the computer. Normally, a business has IT that goes through and sets up a group policy, so a regular employee can't be changing around settings on the computer.
Right.
And one of them is actually to restrict Microsoft account setup or OneDrive syncing.
Oh, so you can
Yeah.
restrict your business computer so that the only thing that can log into that computer is the business Microsoft account. That's
Exactly.
it. Nothing
Yes.
else. You can restrict that. So if you are a business and you're listening to this and you're concerned, I would be concerned.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I am concerned. I hope when we get back at them, or maybe you've already taken care of this at Refresh Computers. If you're a business that's concerned about this and you're not sure how to make those settings, that's a good use of the free tech support hotline.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and I would ask that you probably maybe ask for Adam when you call, because Adam will know right where to go
Yes.
to make that change for you. And he can probably, can you help him over the phone?
I should be able to help you over the phone. I know sometimes the group policy editor can be a little daunting to open up. I know some people get scared just opening up control panel. So,
Right,
you know,
right.
if it is something that you do need help with, you can give us a call, kind of just go over what you have in front of you, what you might need to have done with it, and we can have you come by and take a look at possibly helping you get at least set up on some machines then.
Okay, so that tech support hotline, that free tech support hotline is 407-478-8200. So if you're a business and you're concerned about this issue with Microsoft OneDrive, employees being able to basically glean off all your company data.
Yeah.
If they log into your computer with their personal account, then give us a call, 407-478-8200. We're there to help you
Yes.
get through this thing, and hopefully Microsoft will come up with a fix with this pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully it's more than just something of changing the group policies, because group policies I would consider being an advanced thing for configuring on the computer already. You know, you have multiple users that can be on the computer, and you can set one as administrator or one as a standard user. But group policy gets so much deeper into what allowing a account to do one thing where it can't do another. It can be a little daunting to look at first glance.
And it could be something that would take a little bit more than what our free tech support hotline would be able to cover. So depending on your setup, right, and your business and how things are set up. So, but, to find out, give us a call, 407-478-8200, and we'll be happy to help your business with that. We help Central Florida businesses. We've been helping you guys for over 25 years here in Central Florida, and so many of you depend on Refresh Computers for help, and we'll be glad to help you with this issue as well.
And this isn't something that just impacts businesses. I've even had a couple people before come in saying, hey, I've got all these weird files appearing on my computer. I don't know where they're coming from. And I had actually gone through and found out that they had logged into their Microsoft account on a public access computer at a library.
Oh, don't do that.
And they had forgot to log it out. So now all of the files, everything that's being done on that library computer is going right to their OneDrive account.
Oh, my gosh.
And whoever's using that computer was able to look at the files that were in their OneDrive. So it's one of those things of when you go to log into your Microsoft account, just kind of think about the computer you're logging into. If it's a business computer, or if it's just a computer somebody has access to, you've got information that you don't want somebody having access to, just don't log into.
Don't log into your account. Yeah, I don't think we would ever recommend doing that. And I understand that people travel and sometimes they forgot their laptop, or their laptop's broken or whatever, or maybe they don't have a laptop, and they rely on the computers at the hotel that they're staying at, right? And we always recommend you do not log into any of your accounts on these computers, not banks or anything.
Yeah.
Those computers at these hotels, these public computers, should only be used for maybe you're just looking up stuff,
Looking
right?
up MapQuest data or something.
Don't tie any of your personal information, not your banks, not your Microsoft account, nothing like that, at any of these public computers, right? Same thing with libraries.
And even to say, like public Wi-Fi with hotels, for example, where they have a guest Wi-Fi or the guest Wi-Fi, those networks aren't the most secure. So even, your personal information already, I would suggest not always connecting to those. I've seen a bunch of data before it gets stolen just because somebody has connected onto one of those Wi-Fi networks before.
Yeah. Well,
and that's entirely outside of OneDrive.
Yeah.
That's just security in general.
it is. So watch out for that.
Yeah, this main thing with OneDrive right now, it's just it worries me, honestly, because you've got a lot of these large companies that use OneDrive every day for their companies. Exactly. We use it as well. And the ability to just grab information out of the system and being able to just exfil it is what it's called. I would say it could be, like you were saying earlier, it could be almost like a spy movie.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that concerns me also is, I always recommend to people, you have to have cloud storage now.
Yes.
You just have to. Don't rely on your hard drive, and don't even rely on a thumb drive to do backups, or rely on an external hard drive and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of nice to have those things as backups as well, but you should always have a cloud backup. And so now, now you got to worry about that.
Yeah.
But, I still recommend having it.
Yeah. And that's, it's a lot of just personal practice. If you don't sign in to your account on every computer, you won't be at risk with this. But if you are running a business and you primarily do use OneDrive and you've got employees set up across the board with it, it is going to be probably time to at least take a look at what they can and can't do until Microsoft does something about it.
Right. So Google Drive doesn't have this issue, right?
Google Drive, as far as I'm aware, no. It kind of keeps itself detached from the computer, but still accessible. I know Google Drive, you can access it mainly through their website, drive.google.com.
And you can give other people access to your Google Drive, just like you can your OneDrive if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you would have to give them the access before they can access it.
And the main thing really between OneDrive and Google Drive that sets them apart is OneDrive is kind of just thoughtless. You don't have to think, I need to upload this to my
Well, that's what I love about OneDrive.
Exactly.
It's just another folder on your computer, and everything is just saved in there. And when you save it in that folder, it's saved on the cloud.
Yeah. And there's even other cloud storages that, I've used before, like Dropbox, which is exclusively, you've got an application you can install, but you still have to manually go through and back up files.
Right.
So OneDrive, it's just easy. And I think that's the double-edged sword with it is one of the easier cloud storages to just set up, use, don't have to think about it. Almost like what's the Apple version of it? I think is it iCloud backup or iDrive?
iCloud.
iCloud, yeah.
Just the iCloud.
And Apple does the same thing with that, but with how it is on Windows, I feel at least it's a little more straightforward.
Well, it's easier. It's you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
You just save it in the folder.
Especially with how integrated it's become.
Yes.
I mean, you can even just look at your desktop and see if something's been backed up already to your OneDrive. It gives you that little icon already next to everything. It's very convenient, very easy, and like you mentioned, maybe it's a little too easy.
Yeah.
Well, we just have another minute here, so I want to just switch gears just a little bit. Because we're still going to be talking about Microsoft here in this next minute or so. Windows 10 is going away. We can't stress that enough. So in October, there's no more support for Windows 10 unless you want to pay Microsoft for it, which I don't know why you would want to do that.
Yeah.
You use that money instead to upgrade your computer. And chances are the computer that you're using today with Windows 10 is upgradable to Windows 11. To find out, call the free tech support hotline.
Yes, 407-478-8200. Any one of our technicians you get connected with, we can walk you through checking it. And if it is eligible for upgrade, we can walk you through how to start it. Or you can bring it by us at our store, 820 East State Road, 434. Just about, what's the distance from?
It's 3.5 miles east of I-4 and a block and a half west of 1792 right there in Longwood.
Coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit about the U.S. government making a major investment in technology. We'll have more on that coming up next. You've been listening to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome back to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. And if you have any other comments about the show, go ahead and leave those in an open mic using the WDBO app. And now, back to David and Adam.
All right. Thanks, Greg, and thanks for listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. You can listen to this show in its entirety if you missed any of it, and by going to our website, refreshcomputers.net. Click on that podcast link right there at the top of the page. You'll be able to hear this show commercial-free. So it's about 41 minutes long, and it's usually uploaded by the time the show finishes airing on Saturdays. So, and just a quick reminder too, sales tax holiday ends Sunday. If you're listening Saturday, come on into the store. You still have time to pick up a computer or laptop without paying sales tax on it. If you're listening Sunday, we're closed Sundays, but you can go to the website, refreshcomputers.net, and purchase your computer or laptop right there, sales tax free. So we want to talk a little bit about the U.S. government, taking a 10% stake in Intel.
Yeah, that surprised me when I saw that.
And first of all, I am a Trump supporter. You know that, right? But there's like a lot of people. There's a lot of things he does I just don't understand.
They can sometimes be questionable, right?
Yes.
and Adam, during the break, you were talking about you wonder what the legality is of that.
I always know politicians are not allowed to make their own stakes. There's a lot of gaming that can be seen in that, but this takes it to a whole new level to me. I don't even know how to understand it.
Well, and as far as Trump is concerned, the legality thing there is, it may not be legal, but he's doing it anyway. I think he's done that a couple of other times with some things, but a lot of times I think what he's doing though is he's just putting it out there. Even though he knows he probably can't do something like that. He'll put stuff out there just to stir the pot a little bit sometimes, which is
see who stands up and says no,
which is fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes, really, I kind of enjoy that myself. But I definitely don't agree in the U.S. government subsidizing any company.
And I saw a lot of taglines saying it's to help. It was to help Intel to bolster their funds, because I know they've been facing some financial struggles for the past couple of years. They've been in a lot of deficits. Some deficits I've seen, like quarterly, was $1 billion at one point. So their boat's not at full mast right now, and it's. A lot of this money, I think it was valued, this whole purchase was valued at roughly almost like $9 billion.
Well, here's, the times they are changing. So what do I mean? I worked for a company years ago called Nortel Networks. They were the largest manufacturer of telephone equipment in the world, and they went bust. Why? Because of voice over IP. They couldn't keep up with Cisco. Right. Cisco came along, voice over IP came up. Suddenly you didn't need all this telephone equipment anymore. Yeah. You didn't have closets and closets of telephone equipment. You just had, switches and routers and stuff like that. And so the times they are changing. And so technology always is advancing. And Intel is caught right now in the same kind of thing. They're caught in the middle of this. AI's coming. All these AI chips are coming out.
They've got major competition because of AMD as well. AMD's chipsets have been really pushing them.
They've been good. AI-centric chips AMD are making. Of course, NVIDIA. You can't forget about NVIDIA.
Yep. And I think that's the real push behind this is all the investment that NVIDIA's had over the last multiple of years. The U.S. has fallen behind, so far behind in chip production. You need to bolster your main chip producer, which is still Intel here in the United States.
That's right.
And what I want to believe is, like you're saying, is to bolster the production here. But I know a lot of the information I was looking at is over 70% of Intel's business is overseas anyways.
Right. Well, and I think Intel got caught with their pants down in a couple of ways. One is, they didn't develop that AI chip. They just didn't. They got behind the 8 ball, and they need to get that out on the market. And the other thing is, they had some bad chips, right?
The whole 13th and 14th.
13th generation and 14th generation chips had a bunch of issues with them. So, And so that's also dragging them down. So it's a combination of a couple things, 1-2 punch. And, I don't know if they're savable.
And it'll be interesting to see how far this investment can go. Like you mentioned, what's the legalities behind this? This is still a developing story, so we'll see how this continues on with this Trump administration. You've been listening to Tech Talk right here on WDBO, 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome to Tech Talk here on WDBO, 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. And if you have any comments about the show, go ahead and leave an open mic using the WDBO app. You can also check out their website over at refreshcomputers.net or stop in at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you're listening to the show here on Saturday, it means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. today. And now, David and Adam.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. In just a few minutes here, Adam is going to talk about some really good tax-free deals right now. So if you're listening Saturday, you still have time to come into the store because the sales tax holiday ends Sunday.
Yep. We close at 7 p.m., so you've got until then to come in and purchase.
And if you're listening on Sunday, well, we're closed on Sunday, but you can go to the website, refreshcomputers.net, and make your tax-free purchase right there on the website, and you can indicate you're going to pick it up in the store on Monday. We are open on Monday, Labor Day. Or you can have it shipped somewhere, but it's going to be sales tax free still Sunday. If you wait till Monday, it's not sales tax free any longer. So this is the first time the state did a month-long sales tax holiday on computers and laptops. And boy, are we happy they did, aren't we, Adam?
Oh, yeah. It took me by surprise because I think last year was only was a weekend, if I remember correctly.
Well, and we had, I stocked for this because I also, in combination with no sales tax is Windows 10 expiring.
It's been the perfect storm, I'd say.
Yeah. So, we stocked up, folks. So, we still have plenty of stock. We've sold a ton in August, but we still have plenty in stock. So, Adam's going to talk about some really good deals. So I want you to listen up. So, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. So starting here, we've got a really good HP Chromebook. This is a little $50 laptop. It's great for just, your little bit of travel you're doing. Maybe you've just got some basic schoolwork you need to get done. So it's the HP Chromebook 11. It's a little 11-inch laptop. Comes in at $49.99. And again, tax-free holiday right now. That is the price you would be paying out the door with that machine. And I've seen these machines perfect for students. Just need something on the go, tiny, light, just easy. So we also have a little bit of a different HP Chromebook right now. We've got the HP Chromebook X360. So this is another one of those 11-inch Chromebooks, but the main thing that sets this one apart is this is a convertible Chromebook. So this got the little drop top on it. You can flip the screen all the way back. It's got a touchscreen on it as well. So I know I've got a lot of customers that always they need a touchscreen in their laptop. And if you just need a little something, but you have to have that touchscreen, or maybe you just want it, we got this laptop for you. That's the HP Chromebook X360 for just $99.99.
How would this compare in size to, let's say, like an iPad or something like tablet size, weight-wise, and even just kind of like that feel, considering you can just fold it over?
Really, the weight, I would say, is going to be a little bit more, and only, a little bit more than an iPad. The size profile, it comes in about, I'd say, what the iPad Pros are around now. I think those are around, 11.9-inch screens, if I remember correctly. So you've got similar size there, but this is running Chrome OS. So this is running not a tablet OS. It's not running Windows. It's kind of that in-between. You're able to use basically any programs that Chrome allows on that system that they verify for it. So it's also kind of a secure system. If you've got just a kid that needs a little laptop for school that they need to bring there, it's something that they can't really just be putting anything on it. They're not downloading games. So maybe you do need just a laptop that's just got a little more power behind it. These Chromebooks are good for the little case scenarios of schoolwork, but maybe you're doing a little more. You're doing doing web web editing, you're doing word editing, it's a lot of different functions. We've got the Dell Latitude 5400. So this comes with an i7 processor. It's a 14-inch laptop, so it's got a nice small screen on it still, but not too small. The 11-inch for some people is just too small of the Chromebook. So this being a 14-inch, it's a good size step up there. Comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of new solid-state storage. We put new solid-states in all of our computers. That's one of the major parts, I would say, that's required on a computer when you're buying refurbished is the hard drive in it, the solid-state just has to be replaced because that's where all your storage is. It's all your data goes.
What would you say is the biggest advantage of getting that upgrade to that brand new solid state drive? I know that some of these solid state drives have been in these computers since they started. This is a 8th generation processor that's in this one, so it's a few years old now. What are some of the advantages of getting that fresh solid state drive?
The main thing you're getting out of that is the speed. Any drive, as you use it, it does just degrade over time and it does start to slow down. It was much more obvious with mechanical hard drives, where as they start slowing down, you can actually sometimes hear mechanical drives when they start to slow down.
Oh, yeah.
And solid state drives, they're kind of the same. Theirs are a lot quicker, where it's not a tapered slowdown. It's more of a, my computer took, instead of 30 seconds to start up today, it took about 2 minutes. That's a little weird. And it kind of it progresses very fast. So with getting a new solid state, you are curbing out the risk of that. You've got a new drive that's in there, so you're at a fresh start there. It's kind of like, replacing the motor in your car. Everything else, still spins well, but that motor, it just seized up on you. You had to get a new one. So yeah, that Dell Latitude 5400, we've got that coming in for $319.99 right now, and that's a super, super deal for this computer. These Latitudes, they come in around $800-900. I've seen some of them $1,000 before. So they're not cheap machines, brand new, and getting them refurbished from Refresh Computers, professionally refurbished too. They're just good machines that are going to last you 6 to 8. I've seen 10 years on some of our systems. So say you need a laptop that's just going to be just a little tiny one, but it's got a bunch of power in it. We've got the Dell Latitude 5310. Comes with a 13-inch screen, so smaller than the one I was just talking about, the 5400. Comes with an i7 10th generation processor, so not too old at all. 256 gigabytes of new solid-state storage and 16 gigabytes of RAM. We've got that one for $399.99. And that's just going to be a good, just super computer. Just you can take it with you on a flight, I'd say, for example. I've seen a lot of these 13-inch. I've had customers come in, I'm about to start traveling, and I need something that's going to just be doable for me. I do this kind of work while I'm going to be traveling, and that's normally the laptop I'm pointing towards.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely the kind of laptop that you can still do hard work on. That i7 processor, it can handle a lot.
So maybe you just need something that's got a large screen on it, a 15-inch screen. So we've got the Dell Latitude 3520. It's an i5 11th generation, so newer processor in it. 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. And with this being a 15-inch laptop, you get the full-size keyboard. So the 11, 13, 14-inch computers, all of them come with the shrink-size keyboard where there's not the number pad on the right-hand side. And I've talked to a lot of people that do stock trading. I've talked to CPAs. I've talked to legal advisors before. All of them need that number pad on the right-hand side. It's almost like, if you don't have that, you can't use the computer for them.
As an old retail manager, I still have that bad habit of using the number pad when I'm trying to type some things out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I definitely get it.
And I'm the same way, too. The number pad being there, it's something that's ingrained in my head. That's always there. It's there to use. And I even took a typing class back when I was in middle school. And we were taught the finger placement for the middle of the keyboard and the finger placement for that number pad. So you knew exactly what you were typing without ever looking.
Mavis Beacon would get so mad at me for using the number pad.
So, let's switch it a little bit. Let's take a look at some desktops here. So we've got a nice Dell Optiplex 7070 Micro. This is a little small form factor machine. So if anybody out there is familiar with Apple products, you've probably seen the Mac Minis before, those little tiny computers that are just slammed into a something that's smaller than a piece of paper, smaller than 8.5 by 11. That's the size of this micro right here. So we've got that 7070 Micro. It's an i5 9th gen processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. We've got that for $219.99 with Windows 11 Pro on it. So this machine would be great for just maybe a front point of sales computer. You just need something that's going to be running just proprietary software, something that just goes through. I'd say for a restaurant, I've seen actually a bunch of restaurants buy these up for their POS systems. And I've had people mount them on the back of monitors, too. They're small enough that they can fit on the back, I would say, like a 20-inch monitor just disappears.
That's great. It makes it so convenient. Again, it just kind of keeps everything neat and clean, like you mentioned, for a front-of-house kind of setup. That's a great option. Yeah,
and, that's the main thing with a lot of front-of-house I've seen with restaurants before is you don't really see their computers half of the time. So I would say more often than not, these micro PCs are what those restaurants are using, and you don't really think about either. All of these Optiplex systems, they're made to just run and run and run. They run in things like ATMs I've seen before, so they're out, getting beat by the sun every day outside of the bank, and they're always just running. So these are really good little computers. $219.99. It's going to do anything that you would basically need for just basic use. So maybe you need something that's going to be a little bit more and you want some ease of use. We've got a nice Dell Optiplex 7470 all-in-one computer right now that I would suggest to just anybody that wants a computer that they can take home, plug in a couple cables, and that's it. They don't have to worry about adapter cables, what plugs going from the monitor to the computer. This Optiplex 7470, it's an all-in-one, so the computer is actually inside of the monitor. So what does that mean? It means you don't have to have a separate monitor, have a cable running from that monitor to the computer. There's 4 or 5 different display connectors now, so you don't have to worry about, does my computer have it? Does my monitor have it? Well, I need to get that cable. This just kind of takes the stress out of that. You got the keyboard, the mouse, and the power plug. That's all you got to plug into it.
And listen, if you buy one of the wireless keyboard mouse combos that are available at Refresh Computers, you only have to plug in a power cord. Then you have just the one little USB dongle, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and that dongle, it just plugs right into the back. You can forget it's even plugged in there at that point because you've got your wireless keyboard and mouse. And we've got that Optiplex coming in at $349.99. That's got 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. So this one, we've actually bumped the storage up in it a little bit because having an all-in-one system, it's great to just have the storage you need already. You don't got to worry about upgrading it later on, It's one of those set it and forget it computers. So we also have another all-in-one. It's a 24-inch all-in-one. This one's going to be a couple years newer than the one I was just talking about. It's the Dell Optiplex 5490. So 24-inch screen on this one as well. Comes with an i5 10th generation processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 256 gigabytes of storage. Windows 11 Pro for just $449.99. And all these computers, you can come into the store on Saturday today. Come by, see what we have in store, see these machines. We got all of them out on our table, basically just ready to be looked at. And they're some of the best machines I think I've seen as far as all-in-ones go. I've seen some pretty bad all-in-ones before. Just design-wise, the stand doesn't make sense on them. I had one that if you tilt the screen, it also lowers the screen. I don't understand the point of that design. So all of these Optiplexes, we've got all of them in store that you can check out, come in, or give us a call if you got any questions about them. 407-478-8200. If you got the name for it, the Optiplex 5490 or the Optiplex 7070, you can just let one of our technicians know, and we can go ahead and give you some specifics there. And we also offer cloning services, so if you've got an old computer and you've got to move all your stuff over to that new one, you don't got to worry about playing USB tag is what I called it the other day to somebody. You got a USB going from one to the other and moving stuff. We can do all of that for you. So, again, just give us a call. We can walk you through all of that.
I love that. USB tag. Avoid the USB tag.
Exactly. So we also have a really good Dell Precision desktop right now. That's the Dell Precision 3431. It's a small form factor. You hear us talk about these small form factors all the time. It's one of the staple sizes of the Optiplex. The Precision we have comes with an i7 9th generation processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 512 gigabytes of storage. This one actually also comes pre-built with Wi-Fi. So, I believe this one comes with Wi-Fi, if I'm not mistaken. And it also comes with a graphics card in it. So this one, if I remember correctly, you can connect up to 6 monitors to it.
Wow.
And I actually had a couple people come in just a couple days ago. They purchased this specific one because they do stock trading. So they needed a computer that was fast, that was responsive, and that they could have as many screens open as they need for whatever they were trading. So this is just a super computer for the deal it's at right now. We've got it for $479.99, and this system easily comes in, I would say, at around $1,200 brand new
from
Dell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these precision systems are just absolutely great. All of these deals are going to be great. And again, it's tax-free holiday up until the midnight on Sunday. So Sunday night, definitely come into the store, take a look at some of these systems, or look online. You can order the system online, order all the way through there, and you can pick in-store pickup. Looks like we're going to be coming up on the break here, and we'll be getting to the business spotlight in that next segment we've got coming up.
If you've been teetering on any of these deals, this is your last chance. Tax-free holiday. Take advantage of it. I highly recommend it. You've been listening to Tech Talk right here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome back to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with Adam Littlefield, technician over at the Refresh Computer Superstore. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. Or you can also check out the website over at refreshcomputers.net, or even stop in at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434. And now, back to Adam.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you, everybody, again, for tuning into this edition of Tech Talk. If you've missed any of the previous segments that we talked about here today on the show, you can always go to our website, refreshcomputers.net. There's a little podcast link that's going to be up near the top, and you can listen to this show in its entirety, commercial-free. I believe it comes in around 41 minutes around there. So, if you missed any of these segments, we had a great talk earlier about OneDrive, about Intel, that stake coming out with the government. So definitely give this show a listen if you missed any of that. So this is Dave and I's favorite segment, the Business Spotlight, where we get to just kind of give a shout out to the businesses that have done business with Refresh Computers in the last week. We love to give these shout outs because a lot of these businesses come to us and trust us. So we want to just make sure that they're known that they're putting their trust in the right place. So we had Southeastern Electric. They came by and purchased one of our Dell Optiplex 3070 systems. It's one of our hot sellers right now, the 3070. We had Castleberry Baptist Church. They purchased a 1 terabyte upgrade for their computer, had us clone some information over from a drive that we were upgrading for them. I believe they were close to a drive failure, so we saved them on that one. We also had Florida Foot and Ankle Group, came by and purchasased one of our HP ZBook Firefly laptops. It's a nice little sleek HP ZBook. Not too fancy, but not, just your run-of-the-mill business class laptop. So we're happy we got that for them. We also had Complete Equipment Repair. They came by and purchased some general networking equipment from us, I believe a switch and some cables. And they also got one of our Dell Precision 3431 systems, one of those systems I was mentioning just in the deals a little bit ago. So that'll be a nice system for one of their workstations. We also had JTS Tech. They came by and purchased one of our HP ProDesk 600 mini computers. So the ProDesk mini computer, that's pretty much like the Optiplex Micro. They're almost, I would say, the same size. We're talking millimeter size difference between them. So these are just nice little computers that JTS Tech came by and picked up so they can have for them. We also had Boynton Lawn and Garden Equipment over on Ronald Reagan. They purchased one of our HP Elite Desk 800 mini computers with an extended warranty on that as well. So they got another good little computer, I believe, for their front end out of that one.
And what kind of extended warranties do you offer for businesses when they come to purchase these?
Yeah, so for businesses and for just regular customers, we offer up to 3-year extended warranty. The cost varies based on the value of the system, but I know generally they're starting around $40 for that first year, so not too inexpensive at all for the extended warranty, and covers anything hardware related. So if for some reason it stops turning on you, or you just start getting some weird slowness, you can bring it by and we can just go ahead and check it out for you. We also had Marketing Apparel LLC. They purchased a large 48 PoE network switch from us, and they also had us reload one of their computers with Windows. So they had, I believe, some main issues that were going on with the system already. We decided that this Windows had to be reloaded. It was too far corrupted, and yeah, we were able to get that at least working for them again, but I know that they needed that network switch for a large network run that they were getting set up at their location right now. So hopefully that goes well for them. We also had Michigan Pump. We came out to their location, performed some on-site services, some diagnostics for a machine that they weren't really able to do without at the time. So happy we could be there for them when they needed. And we also had the Lawton Brothers, Inc. They purchased one of our Dell Professional 24-inch monitors, one of our refurbished ones there, as well as an adapter display cable. They needed that adapter cable. Their computer didn't have what the monitor had. So we went ahead and just got that for them. Looks like we are coming to the end of the show. So again, everybody, I cannot stress it enough. The end of the tax-free holiday is coming soon. So if you have not upgraded yet to a Windows 11 computer, please come by our store, 820 East State Road 434 in Longwood. We can go ahead and find you a machine that'll fit into whatever you need. This has been Adam Littlefield, and I hope to be hearing from you guys next week.